Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Indulge Oneself. My name is Sheena. If you are expecting a baby like me, congratulations. I'm super excited to share with you 5 tips to prepare your children for a new sibling. Are you ready? Let's get started. Step number 1, communication. Believe it or not, each child have their own personality. Therefore, you need to approach them according to their age. Children anywhere from 5 and above, they have a better understanding what a baby is. So, this is a perfect time and opportunity to actually reach out or communicate with them. I'll give you a perfect example. My son Darius, he is 5 years old right now, and as soon as my first doctor's visit, we told him. He was super excited. He was asking so many questions. One of them, which was my favorite, when will the baby will be here? And we answered as much as possible, but at that age you have to be very careful because they tend to be a little bit talkative. So if you don't want the whole world to know the exciting news, then I would suggest that you wait a little longer to tell your 5-year-old, accident happens. Children anywhere from 2 to 4 years old are a little attached to you. There's nothing wrong for that attachment. At that age, they feel threatened of any type of change. So for instance, my son Damien, he is 4 years old and he's very attached to me and my husband. When we told him the news the same day as Darius, he took it very differently than my older child. And he felt a little threatened. He wasn't happy about it. At one point he said, I didn't like your belly. The belly was growing. There was little things here and there that changed. Obviously I couldn't carry him as much as I used to. He changed. He grew into it. And it's okay for them to express their feelings. Sometimes they won't be able to do it fully, but they will tell you, whether or not they don't like it or they don't want it. And you gotta make them understand that you do understand where they're coming from, and that no matter what, you will still love them and the baby will love them too. Children anywhere from 1 to 2 years old does not have any type of understanding of what it is to be a brother or to be a sister, or what is the meaning of a baby. The best thing to do is, yes, to communicate, but at the same time, it's the tone that you're using. Your feelings towards the exciting news, do it with a happy tone. Perfect example, when Darius turned 1, my husband and I, we spoke to our son. Super excited, you're gonna be a brother. We try to explain as much as possible, try to include him and be a part of an everyday routine. And eventually he felt excited. Trust me, it may be difficult at times, but you will manage. Funny story now, back then it was the most embarrassing, I would say the scariest moment in my life, but I'm gonna share this with you. When Darius 1.5 years old, my newborn Damien was basically just in his bassinet sleeping, and at the same time both of my children were crying, and I panicked. I cried because Damien was crying for milk, and then Darius, he reached into his diaper and he had poop all over his hands. So he was crying because he panicked. I'm pretty sure he was like, ugh, what is that? And when I saw both of them crying at the same time, I was like, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do? Who am I supposed to attend to? He's a newborn, but he's a toddler. He's almost technically like a baby. Oh my gosh, what am I? Oh, I was like going back and forth, and I was crying, and then I just stopped. I kept myself from crying anymore. I grabbed both babies. I went straight into the bathroom. I held my baby in my arm and I sat on the toilet, and Darius, I put him inside the tub with clothes on and everything, and I started breastfeeding my newborn right there. And Darius, I was like taking off his clothes with one hand and his dirty diaper, and I started like washing him while feeding the baby. It was crazy. And after that, I wrapped my toddler with a towel and I embraced both of them, and I was like, oh my gosh, that was crazy. I've never experienced that before. I was crying, and then I just kissed them and I was like, I did it. So I would never forget that. I would always share that with anybody. I would love to hear any funny stories from you guys. Step number 2, role play. This is so important. You need to figure out that your child will be sharing their rooms or their room with the baby, so you could practice. I mean, technically speaking, your baby will be using the bassinet for the first 3 months, so you have plenty of time to practice. What about the high chair? Will your toddler be sharing the high chair with the baby? Now again, technically speaking, if your baby will be using that high chair for the first 6 months, he or she will not be using it. So you have to practice and role play pretending. Another thing is that I've been using 2 apps. This video is not sponsored by them, but these 2 apps, I love it because we could share experience. We could talk about certain pictures and watch certain videos just to know exactly how the baby is growing inside the tummy. And these 2 apps, the first one is What to Expect, and the second one is Baby Center. And it's a guide on a day-to-day and a week-to-week basis on, like I said, how the baby grows. And they look at these pictures, videos, and they ask so many questions. And it's a perfect opportunity for them to learn. Another thing would be playing with bears. Put a diaper on it. Have them role play that it's a baby. You have to have mom and baby time to feed the baby, and let them experience or see that pattern so they know what to expect. Step number 3, prepare your child for the big day. Ask yourself these questions. Who's going to take care of the children while you're heading to the hospital? Who's going to take care of them while you stay more than 1 or 2 days in the hospital? Make sure your child is comfortable enough to be with that caregiver. Will your caregiver be staying at your place to watch the children? Or will the children be staying at the caregiver's place? Now, if so, please try to make sure that you pack necessary items are in that bag, and you don't want to be stressing out on the day of packing their bags, and you might leave 1 or 2 items. For example, on the big day, and while I was in the hospital, Darius stayed with his grandparents during the day. And then my husband made sure that when it was dinner time, he would rush over to his parents' house and spend time there during dinner. And right after that, he would drive home with our son, night routine and morning routine. And after breakfast, he would drop off my son over to my in-laws. So my husband, Darwin, he continued doing that until it was time for the baby and I to come home. And it was actually a good thing because Darius didn't feel excluded, and I'm so grateful for my in-laws. It was just a beautiful experience. Step number 4, meeting the baby. So important. I would totally suggest that before this happens, sit down with your child and say, hey, the baby is soon to be here, and the baby has a special small surprise for you. Now we got to go out there and go get the baby something, so let's go shopping. I mean, that would be fun, right? I would think so. So I mean, this would be the perfect time to actually introduce the baby to the child. It would be the perfect time to exchange gifts, pictures, bonding. Let me know your kid's reaction when the baby was born in the comment below. Step number 5, carving out time for your child. Now, I know for a fact that this is something super hard to do, but you could do it, mama, because every little minute counts. I'll give you a perfect example. So Darius at the time was 1.5 years old, and my newborn, every time when he was napping, I would take that opportunity and spend time with Darius. We would do different activities. Like I said, it was just spending that little bit of time with him. You cannot care or give as much attention to the ones you love if you are not taking care of yourself. You got this. I truly hope you are great. You and your baby are healthy, most importantly, and that your pregnancy is amazing. Let me know what worked for you or what didn't work for you. I would love to hear that. Thanks for stopping by. Click on the like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Turn on the notification bell to receive new videos every Monday. I'll catch you on the next video. What's in the bag? Bye.